Becoming podcast. This is your host, Quisha. And in today's episode, we're now on Called Anyway, episode 2. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about when you're called, but the only one in your friend group, relationship, or family that's called. Let's get right into this episode. Have you ever felt like you were the only one choosing God in your life? Like the only one in your family, the only one in your relationship, or even in your friend group? The only one that's choosing God? I know how tough that can be, y'all. I know how tough that is. You feel alone, you feel misunderstood, you feel like nobody gets you. But that's not for everybody to understand. That's between you and God. Nobody have to understand why you became spiritual. Nobody have to understand why God chose you. If you're the only one in your life that's following God, I'm going to give you 5 ways to keep your head above water when that loneliness kicks in, when you start feeling misunderstood, and when people start feeling like you're being too spiritual, or when people just don't understand you. Now, number 1, you want to make your prayer life very strong. Build that relationship with God and maintain it. Pray 3 times a day. I do not play when it comes to praying. I pray in the morning, I pray in the afternoon, I pray at night, and I do my worship and my praises. But make sure you're praying a strong prayer. Make sure you have a strong prayer life. Number 2, don't argue or explain your faith to nobody. Nobody needs to know why you follow God the way you do. You don't have to explain that to anyone. That's not anyone's business, and nobody needs to know. If they feel like you're being too spiritual, then oh well. Number 3, find you a community. Find you a church, find you a Bible study group, and find you some women of God friends or men of God friends so you can have that community to follow on when you're feeling lonely, when you're feeling depressed. So your community can build you and push you back up. Number 4, guard your emotions because you're going to get sensitive. You're going to miss your old friends, your old life, and your own self. But you have to guard your emotions. You have to guard your heart. Number 5, and you have to accept your new change. You have to become okay with becoming the person that God has called you to be. You have to accept the terms that, okay, I'm changing. Okay, I'm becoming this person, and not everyone can go with me. Not everyone is meant to be with me along this change that I'm becoming. In Genesis, when God told Abraham to leave everything, God didn't give Abraham a blueprint. God didn't give Abraham a map or nothing. But Abraham gave God his yes, and he was obedient to what God had told him to do. That's the same with you. When God tell you to leave that city, to leave that friend group, that relationship, or those certain family members, you listen to God and you give God your yes. Not everybody is meant to go on this journey with you. In Matthew chapter 7 verse 14 says, narrow is the path that leads to life. When we think of a narrow path, it's like this. So if you are going down a narrow path that leads to life like this, that friendship, that relationship, or that family member, or that city is not meant to go with you. Everybody can't fit down that path with you. Everybody can't fit on that journey with you. And it's okay because God said, for many are called, but a few are chosen. That means God chose you out of that many. You were the few that was chosen. And I understand being on this journey alone is so hard. I went through it my first couple of years of me giving my life to God. I was the only one in my relationship. I was the only one in my friend group that was trying to seriously follow God. And it made me feel lonely. It made me feel misunderstood. And I started outgrowing people. And it's not that you outgrown those people. You just outgrown those seasons with those people. You can't relate to them anymore. You can't relate to certain conversations anymore. They stop inviting you places. And you have to start declining invitations. And you'll start to wonder and ask yourself, did you make the right decisions? And you did. You are growing. You are becoming. It only looks like betrayal. It only looks bad to people who don't understand your growth. And that is okay because not everybody is meant to even go on the path that you're going on. God separates you, then he elevates you. God will put you in a season of loneliness to elevate you to the next level, to the next journey. And don't run back to what God has pulled you away from. Don't run back to the people, the place, or none of those things that God has removed you from. You will become a pillar of salt, just like Lot's wife did when she looked back. Don't look back when God separates you. Don't look back when God elevates you and allow you to grow. And you cannot grow in certain places. That's why God had called Abraham out of his city, because Abraham couldn't grow in his city. That's why when people become big, or these famous people, they move because they can't grow in that city. Fishes can't grow in a small tank. You cannot grow in the area where you don't belong, in the area where you don't fit in. So it's okay to leave those things and those people behind. And when I first gave my life to God, my environment was very toxic. Like everything that I was around was very toxic. And it was so hard for me to maintain being a woman of God. Like my journey was very, very hard. It was very hard before I joined the church and before I started my community. And I was just around all the things that was toxic. I stayed crying. I was wondering, is this journey meant for me? And I will question God because I was confused. Like I was in and out. Like I started to get tired of myself. But once I started my community, once I started my church, and once I said, okay, I don't want this environment no more, it was hard for me to let go of, the friendships and all the things that I need to let go of. But I knew in order for God to elevate me, in order for me to see the full potential that God has for me, I had to let those things go. You had to let go. I understand being the only one in your life following God, it gets hard, it gets rough. But if you want to grow, if you want to meet your full potential, you have to let go of those things. You cannot grow in a toxic environment. You cannot grow around people who's steady, who's okay with being the same. You cannot grow around those things. You cannot grow in a toxic relationship. You cannot grow around those people who don't see God as a priority, because you're going to keep getting pulled back. You're going to keep going backwards. You can't go forward then go backwards, go forward then go backwards. You're being steady just like the things that's around you. So in order to grow, in order to move on, you have to move on. That is the end of the episode, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share with your friends, your cousins, your brothers, your sisters, anyone who needs to hear this message. And I hope to see you all next Sunday at the same time at 7 p.m. I love you all. Bye.